Yo, what's going on? What's going on? I'm trying something new. Alright. Welcome to R.W.Podcast Mobile Edition. Mobile Edition. I'm out here driving from work, going home. It's been crazy busy in the sense of lifestyle, and I just got things I just want to talk about, whatever the case is. So the first thing I want to talk about is that I was approached about my title of the last episode saying, I think it was Let's Talk Final, or in the description I said it's gonna be the final Let's Talk for the time being. And what I mean by Let's Talk is I talk about my personal experience, and be very open and vulnerable, and then share that, hoping that it'll reach ears that needs to be reached, and then people can always hit me up, comment, you know what I'm saying? I will always, I'm not gonna sit here and act like a professional. I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, I can help you. All I could do is just, give you the numbers for you to call and tell you to talk to a professional. Or if you just need to write something, just to let it out, then yeah, of course. Cause I'm far from a professional. I'm far from saying that I can save and heal people, but what I can do is just speak upon my experience, and hopefully it just it hits you, it ignites something in you to move forward and to get out of the slump that you in. So yeah, that's one of the things. Real quick, give me a second. I'm sorry. Alright. But yeah. So that's what the Let's Talk is. And on the last episode, I said, this would be the final, because I don't know if it was a thing that some people like to listen to, some people not. I just kind of, wanted to. I found it therapy for me. I found it very therapeutic. That's the word. It's very therapeutic for me to release and to talk like this. Cause I don't care about being judged. I don't care what anyone's gonna say, because they don't live my life. And honestly, a lot of people truly don't know me. They might have knew me back in high school when I was when I was just a clown, just acting stupid and not taking stuff serious. But they don't know me per se as the man that I am now, as the father, the soon to be husband, the hard work. They don't know that feelings. You know what I'm saying? They just know. A lot of people know me from high school, and truly that's it. Or whatever they see on Instagram and stuff like that, right? Like the nerdy stuff. But they don't know the true me. And so for me to say what I say, it's not scary for me. I'm not worried about what anyone's gonna say, because of how I live my life, and I live my life very open to the people around me. So they will see no lies and no flaws in what I'm saying, and I'm cool with that. So it allows me to speak to you guys with no problem. It allows me to be very vulnerable and open with no problem. And like I said, hoping it would land on some ears that need it, touch some souls. You know what I'm saying? Pump some heart, bring that heart back to life. So yeah, so that's what the Let's Talk is. And on the last episode, I said this would be my final Let's Talk, and then I was told then not to stop it, to keep going with it, and so I am. I'm going to keep going with it. There's lots of things. I mean, there's so much that that I can speak on about that, what I've been through, and all the other things. And unfortunately, the Let's Talk it's like I said, it's vulnerable. It's being vulnerable, vulnerability, and so of course it's always going to start off down, a little bit sad, a little bit emotional, because of course, unfortunately, that's what this situation comes from. It comes from these horrible situations. But there's gonna be an outcome to it. I will never talk about something that I haven't been successful on, or haven't healed from, moved forward from, or haven't overcome anything. If I haven't topped that situation, if I haven't dealt with that situation, I won't speak about it. Everything I will speak on was something that I went through, and something that I've overcome, that I've made it out of that darkness. I was able to see the light. I was able to heal the wounds. I was been able to be. I was able to experience it, overcome it, and now I'm able to talk to you about it. So I will never sit here and talk to you about things that I have not myself been able to overcome. In a sense, when it comes to Let's Talk, I will never try to give any advice if I myself haven't found that path, haven't found my way to get over what I'm going through. That's not gonna happen. So I don't know if it's straight or not. So I'm just trying to see it. There we go. So yeah. So I honestly, when I hit the record button, I didn't know what I was going to talk about. I didn't know what to approach, and until I did. And one of the things I want to talk about that's involved in something very big that I would have to chop up would be, of course, it's going to be the past. So it's going to be my last relationship, my last major relationship. What I would say my last relationship, right? About 7. So I want to say about a good 10 years ago. Damn, 10 years. Damn, time flies. Well, that's 10 years ago. Is when I got with my kid's mom, and then we down the line we got married, and then we got divorced. Separated and got divorced, and how all that transpired. See, that whole thing led to one of the biggest parts of my life. It led to the biggest downfall of my life, because there was one thing after another. So a lot of things happened, and I was getting attacked in so many ways. I was overwhelmed. I was overloaded. I was angry, and there was just so much I had to deal with, and I didn't know what situation to deal with first. I didn't know what to attack, and it was rough. So in the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna break down this situation, and I'm gonna break down the things. I'm gonna take little the little subtopics of each one and tell you how I dealt with those situations. Because like I said, the separation alone, the separation/divorce alone is basically the base. And from that base, there were just so many roads of so many things that I had to deal with, had to walk down on. And it was, like I said, it was the biggest downfall in my life. But I'm able to talk about it because, yes, I came out on top. I did see that I'm here now, right? I'm engaged now. I'm happy. Career-wise, moving forward, and so yes, there is there is the light. I came out of it, but it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. okay? Because I'll tell you this much. It was, I want to say it was a good 5 to 6 years of lots of things I had to deal with. That's a long time. It goes by fast, but it feels so long at the same time. There's so much to deal with. So the first thing I want to talk about today, before I even start, I hope everybody had a great Labor Day weekend. I went straight into it because I was hyped, but I hope everybody had a great Labor Day weekend. I hope y'all got to spend time with your family, with friends. Y'all barbecued, y'all got into the beach, the pool. You got to watch anime all day, got your video game all day, got to relax, got to do whatever you can. But I hope the extra day was good enough to refuel that energy to go back to work, to keep it moving. If you had to work on Labor Day, sorry. I hope you made the best of it throughout the weekend or whenever you can. I hope you got that money, got paid, you feel me? And I hope you in positive spirits, have a great energy, and let's go on top. With that said, the biggest thing, everything was the biggest thing in this celebration, but the first thing I had to learn how to deal with, I want to say, was, I guess it's two things together, was my anger and then the sharing of my child. Those two things I had to deal with hand in hand together. My anger at that time was at a point where it was dangerous. And I'm not saying violently dangerous, but it led to very emotional decisions, very bad emotional decisions from people who I was living with at the time, from the way I approached my interactions with my son's mom, from how I went about with my jobs, with working, devices that I used to deal with the pain and the anger that I had, and then also to get used to coming home sometimes and my son ain't gonna be there, having to cancel plans because I haven't seen my son and I want to be with him, so certain things I can't do, and so those two were real big for me, and I can admit this, like every time my son's mom would call me, I'm not gonna say baby moms because that's just ghetto. I'm good. My son's mom, what it is. So my son's mom, every time she would call me, I was like, yo, what do you want? I like, what the fuck you want? Sorry for the cursing. But I was like, yeah, what the fuck you want? And I knew it was about, hey, what time you come in? It was just her just trying to see when I'm on my way to like that she'd get things ready. But like I said, I was so angry. Just talking to her, like I couldn't contain the anger. I couldn't, like I had to like be cursive, and that was bad because, if I didn't correct that, then it would become a thing where I'm talking like that to her in front of my son. And the one thing I told myself, because I didn't have a father growing up, so one thing I told myself is that I'm never gonna be disrespectful to a female in front of my son, especially his mom, because I don't want him growing up thinking like, yo, that's okay. Yo, my dad was telling my mom off the whole time. Why can't, what I'm saying? That's not what we doing. Okay, we're not raising, we're not raising idiots out here. Alright, we're not, I know I'm not raising no punk ass kid. I'm not raising no disrespectful kid. My boy's gonna be a gentleman. What I'm saying? He's gonna be a man. He's not gonna be no boy when he gets older. So, I had to learn how to deal with that, and I didn't know how to, and it was rough because when you in those tough times, the people around you kind of affect that. No, that kind of do affect that situation, and who you have around you might either help the situation that you in, and what I mean by that, by correcting you, telling you, hey, yo, what you're doing is crazy, what you're doing is stupid, or they just might or they might make the situation worse because they're gonna encourage your behavior. You know, oh man, you gotta be right. You angry, man. Fuck that shit. I deal with that. You know, so with that being said, I didn't have the right people around me. You know, I was being encouraged to you know, you angry, man, do you. You know what I'm saying? Keep drinking, keep smoking. You know, all that other stuff. Somebody here was turning and she wasn't even in the turning lane. Shorty out here wilding. Anyways, yeah. So I was being encouraged in a negative way. I wasn't being encouraged positive. I wasn't being told to stop. Yo, chill. Look what you're doing. I'm so much in my rage. I'm so much in my rage that I don't see my wrong. I'm thinking what I'm doing is right. That's what it's supposed to be, and that's not true. And mind you, this bit of the people around you is gonna come up, and every time I talk about this situation, every different part of it, the people around you is gonna be. It's a main factor. It's very important, and you're gonna see why as I go along. So yeah, so the people around me affected a lot of the things, and you know, I went about just being angry. I went about just constantly being angry to her, and then it led to me. I was drinking a lot, and when I mean a lot, I was drinking a lot, not just bottles. You know, and it could be bottles of wine, it could be 2 bottles of some whiskey, some Jameson or whatever that was there, some bottles of rum, especially Brugay. I was always getting bottles from the mainland, you know what I'm saying? When my mom would go to DR, she would bring me a couple, you know what I'm saying? So, but there was always liquor around me, and then whenever I can, I roll something up or whatever the case is. So I was always liquored up, or I was high. The only time that I was sober is when I had my son. When I went to go get my son, and when I had him and I dropped him off. Anytime that I was with my son, there was never no such thing as drinking or smoking. I wasn't gonna do that. I wasn't gonna be that parent. I wasn't gonna be that dad. You know, I gave him my attention. Even though at that time, 2, 3 years old, we played. 4 or 5. We did. We did Hot Wheels, built a bunch of tracks, Legos later on came into play. But at that time it was more Hot Wheels, and watch TV together, and and he'll be next to me as I watch some anime. So I did everything I can, to make sure that we always spend time together, and it was. My time with him was always amazing. It was the most peaceful time in my life. Those moments just kept me at peace. Those moments were great. Then I go drop him off and I see his mom and everything disappears. Right? Because at the end of the day, I didn't heal from my anger. My anger was so bottled up. When I have him, you don't see it. And then whenever he left, I get to pop that bottle open and it'll go right back. And then getting used to sharing him wasn't easy because of the whole separation. How it led, the reason why we got separated because of her cheating, her doing what she did. So having to do the round and the dude also being disrespectful didn't make the sharing part easy, and didn't make the picking up and the dropping off easy, because as much as I wanted to curse her out, as much as the same way I wanted to knock that dude head off. And when I tell you that I want to knock his head off, I wanted to literally been able to just take his head and take that shit right off his fucking shoulders, right off his neck. That's how I felt. And mind you, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm a violent person. I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm a fighter and all that. Don't care about fighting. If I could go the rest of my life without fighting, I'd be happy. But I can defend myself, and that's a fact. I can defend myself with my hands, and if someone has, unfortunately, these days hands are not used, so you gotta use weapons. If I had to, I could use that as well. But I never wanted to be in that situation. As a man, I never wanted to be in that situation, and I ended up being in that situation. I ended up being in a situation where the other person that she was involved with that caused all this, because, both ways, on her side, on both ways, that caused all this, didn't respect the fact that I'm around, that I'm being a father, that I'm being a dad, that I'm not a deadbeat. He was definitely hoping and expecting for me to be that deadbeat, for me to disappear and not be around. But he got the total opposite of it. So he ran into a man, he ain't ran into a boy. So for a while, none of that was easy. None of that was easy. And I was at a point where, I was at a point where I was ready to do something that could take me to jail. And when I got to that point, when I reached the limit of that type of anger, when I thought about something that in my life I truly never thought about, wanted to take someone out of this earth, that's when I knew, well, what I'm doing. And at that very moment, the people that I was living with, I was no longer living with. And the friends that I should have reunited with started talking again because I came back around. It happened to be that they were the ones to calm me down, tell me, yo, I'm angry, it's okay, but how you thinking and what you're going about is not okay. They reassured me, they told me, they corrected me, they let me know, man, yo, I'm not doing that. That's not the way I'm going about things. Reminding me, yo, I do something stupid, I lose my son because I go away for life. And at that very moment, I realized, I had the weakest moment. I was at my weakest moment where I was gonna just lose it all. And I didn't because of the change of environment. Not only getting away from the people I was living with, I got around family again. I moved in back in with my mom and my stepfather and my brother. We was all living together again. So I got around family. My son got around, his grandparents, which he adores and loves because they've been there since he was born. Literally, my mom was in the room. You know what I'm saying? So he got to be around family. Got to be around his uncle. And I didn't put him around. I didn't put him around nobody anymore that was no good for me. I didn't let him feel that energy, and that right there was that first step of change, right? Because my family was there. So now, not only did it help me, with the anger, they helped me to see my son grow even more because of the love and the family. And I tell you this, my brother and my mom, on my sons, I think it was second or third, I can't truly remember. I don't know if he was 22 or 23, but one of those, I remember my son's mom telling me, yo, such and such, she's gonna be here for the party to do whatever she left me for, cheated on me with. And I remember right there and then, my mom and my brother grabbed me because I told them what's up. So they grabbed me and they pushed me to the car because that motherfucker wasn't gonna make it out that day. If I still, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But then again, I double back on what I tell you, how the people around you are what affect a lot of situations in these rough times. And they right there, what they did, they saved me from me. They knew they saved me from me. My brother didn't say, nah, yo, go ahead, fuck that nigga up. He deserve it. My mom didn't say, go ahead. None of that. They didn't do that. What they did was take me. Hold on real quick. I knew it. what they did was take me and push me to my car and said, "Nah, we're leaving. We'll do our own party." And that's what ended up happening. I bounced. I left. And, you know, and it was a blessing because I'm here now. And you know, I know none of it was worth it. You know, so anyone that's going through this situation of separation and sharing the kids and going through some tough times and all this other stuff, the one thing you gotta know, watch who's around you. Remember your child, and also that none of it's worth it. How you gonna go about somebody? I'm a harm dude or whatever the case is. Because the one thing we can't do, we will never be able to control the partner who we have a child with. We won't be able to control that. You feel me? As much as they can't control, as men who we end up being with, we can't control, who they gonna be with. And this goes to man and woman. You know what I'm saying? Our partners that we had children with, when we separate, you cannot control who they're gonna be with and what they're gonna do. But all you can do is to make sure that you're there and you be an adult about everything. Anger does not lead at all to anything good. Every decision I made out of anger led to just bad roads. From who I chilled with, to how I was drinking, to smoking, to damn near thinking, almost doing, of destroying my own life because I wanted to take someone else's life. Like, none of that matters. Like, that anger will take you to wild places. And the best thing you could do at first, if you ever in this situation, if you ever get in this situation, I hope anyone that listens to this is not in this situation, but if you are, two things, watch who you with and control your anger, control your emotions. Be the parent, the man or woman that you want your child to see. Alright? Don't be this person that you think you need to be to get revenge or whatever. Nah, none of that matters. If you want to be real, you want to get revenge. You know how you get revenge? By being happy, by moving forward. Alright? Okay, by living your life. Not by getting with someone else right away, or not by damaging, or no. By you living your life, loving yourself and being happy. And doing the things that you should have been doing, now you can do and you can live. That's how you get revenge. That's how you move forward. Anger and trying to damage property, damage a person, hurt a person, all that, it don't do nothing but take you away from the one thing you guys share, and that's a child. And that right there is what I learned. That right there saved me. That right there has put me where I'm at right now. It's allowed me to be with the woman that I'm with now. It's allowed me to land a job that I should have been in. Okay, it's allowed me to be with my son, see my son, help him grow, okay, and feed knowledge to him that he would not have been able to get if I wasn't around. Because Lord knows, what type of person your partner would get, your ex-partner would get around your kid. Because not every person is going to be good for your child. So please, if you're in this position, please, I know you're angry, and you got to admit that you're angry. Don't say you're not angry. Admit that you're angry. Know that you're angry. But then also say, I can't do this. That's not me. Now I won't do this because of the repercussions. Okay, because of what you're gonna miss out on. It's real shit. It's real. Sharing your child. My fault, gonna tell my bad. Sharing your child, you feel me? It's hard. It's not easy. But guess what? It's better than not being able to be with your child or see your child grow. Because you wanted to be stupid. So when it comes down, personally, Like I said, how I dealt with the situation, to sum it all up, through the downhill battles, how I dealt with the anger and sharing my child. I changed the people around me. When I changed the people around me, I admitted how I was feeling. Not all the way. I wouldn't say all the way, but I admitted my anger. I admitted that I was angry. I admitted that I felt some type of way. I looked at the situation different. Basically, I looked at what I, as a man, as a person, could do to be better and move on. I ain't worried about what she was doing. I started worrying about what I'm gonna do and was doing. And when it came to sharing my child, I just enjoyed every time. And every time she wanted to go out, nah, you ain't getting a babysitter. That child was being with me. I ain't allow her to get a babysitter unless if I couldn't watch him, or my mom, because my mom, well, that's a grandkid. You know, she, regardless, she would take him. You feel me? So I took every opportunity to be with him. We was in the same county, so there was no way that I couldn't see him. Nah, I picked him up from school. You still with me, I'll drop him off. You know, I had him, I took him to events and stuff like that. So, you take advantage of those times. You be the parent. If you be the parent, you don't gotta worry about nobody else. Because at the end of the day, that child knows now who you are. That child knows your dad, your mom. So that child knows that, hey, I gotta listen to them. So you don't worry about, anybody else. You worry about what you do as a parent. Now, if you're not around, then yeah, you're gonna worry. But then again, if you wanna worry, then be around. I was around, and I'm still am. So I never worry about nobody coming into my boy's life because I'm here. So at the end of the day, I ain't gonna let nobody treat him wrong. I ain't gonna let nobody teach him anything wrong. I ain't gonna let nobody put anything in his head, because any man that has to deal with on that side start doing the wild shit, it gets dealt with, and I deal with it properly. Not on some wild shit like I wanted to do before, but it will get dealt with properly because I'm not playing when it comes to my kid. So being comfortable, being confident as a man, as a father, as a guidance to my child, that right there took everything away of sharing my child. I knew I'm gonna be okay. I knew that we're gonna be able to co-parent. I knew because I'm gonna be civil when I quelled on my anger. And like I said, with my anger, it was about just the people around me. It was about relaxing on my drinking and on my smoking, and getting into the things that I loved doing, that I lost myself in not doing. So that's watching anime, that's playing video games, even Hot Wheels. Listen, I ain't had Hot Wheels growing up, so to afford Hot Wheels now, because it's affordable more than before, and build it with my son, it helped with all that. Those were therapy for me. It was therapy for me, and I wrote. I had a journal, and I used to write as well almost every other day, and it helped. But also that was the beginning of this long journey of healing. There was more. There's a whole lot more. But we'll talk about that next time. Alright? If you listen to this, you made it to the end, I appreciate it. And if you're not going through this, but you know someone that is, and you think this is helpful, share it to them. Show them what's up. Like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification button. This will help to spread it out more. And especially if you share it. The more you share, the more this can get out there for people to start listening. And then, the likes will help down the road. But the biggest thing is to share, let people know, hey, yo, this dude's talking about his experience with this part, and go from there. And this is literally part one of this situation and how it leads to where I'm at now. Is part one of this crazy situation in my life that started damn near 8-9 years ago, and how I made it out on top, but how I had to go through the thorny roads and the and you know, the cloudy days, and the you know, the dark times with no light, the evil thoughts, just everything about it, the pain, all that, the shame, so much, you know. Yeah. So thank you for listening once again. Like, share, please share, subscribe, comment, let me know if it helped. Let me know if you know someone. Let me know what's up. Just tell me, let me know what's good. Alright? Hit that notification button. Like that, if you do love what you heard, hit the notification button if you can be notified when I drop part 2 of this. With that, I say peace. Y'all be good.